Okay, so these are the notes for order of operations review notes. Okay, so we're going to start with lesson 1, even though we went over it today. I was just going to go over it with you again. We did a little bit today. A 4 to the third power is written as 4 times 4 times 4, which if you put in your calculator equals 64, not 12. So it's the base times itself that many times. 4 times 4 times 4, which equals 64, not 12. B, 2 to the fourth power. It is not 2 times 4, which is 8. It's not. It's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. The base times itself. And in this case, it's 4 times. So here's our base, which is 2. Here's our exponent 4 that tells us how many times we are multiplying the 2 by. And we get 16. So if you put that in your calculator, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 16. So when we looked at this equation, 5 to the fourth power equals 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. That's how many times we multiplied it by itself. And if I put that in my calculator, 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, it does equal 625, not 20. It does not equal 20. Number 3, if we write the exponent for each expression, our base here is the number 8, and we're multiplying it out 5 times. So it's 8 to the fifth power. B is 6 is our base, and we're multiplying it by itself 3 times. So 6 times 6 times 6, 6 to the third power. C says 4 times 4. We're multiplying 4, the base is 4, 2 times. So 4 to the second power. There's another way we can say second power and third power, and that's squared and cubed. So right here, when a number has an exponent of 2, you can also say that it's squared. So it's just another way of saying to the second power. Squared is a number to the second power. You can see here, oops. So here, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared. Then we come down here and we see we can also have another way of saying something to the third power is cubed. Something to the third power is cubed. 3 to the third power can also be 3 cubed. And 4 to the third power can also be said as 4 cubed. Cubed is another way of saying to the third power. Go ahead and write that in. Okay, so lesson 7 is going to be actually doing the order of operations. So GEMDAs, and you did sound like you're familiar with it, is grouping symbols, exponents, multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. So we're going to look at these expressions and we're going to decide which ones we're going to do first. Okay, so I'm actually going to get rid of this. We're going to do these together. Okay. So A says 5 plus 10 minus 6 plus 3 to the second power, or 3 squared times 10. Are there any grouping symbols? No, there aren't. So I move to the next one. Are there any exponents? Yes, there is. So I'm going to circle that. That's what I would do first. So the directions were to circle the part of the equation that you would do first according to GEMDAS, and that's what I'm doing. B says 6 plus 18 divided by 2 plus parentheses, 3 plus 10, end parentheses. If I come up here, the very first thing I'd have to do according to the order of operations are parentheses. So that is what I would be doing first, the parentheses. In C, 3 plus parentheses 5 plus 21 divided by 7, end parentheses, plus 10. Well, again, I do have grouping symbols, so I know right away that that has to be done first. D, 9 plus 6 times 2 plus 9 squared plus 4 cubed. Well, I don't have grouping symbols, but I do have exponents, so I would have to do those first. E, 2 plus 10 times 10 plus 50 divided by 10. There are no parentheses or grouping symbols, and there are no exponents. So then I look to see multiplication and division. I don't have to multiply first necessarily, but I do have to go from left to right. So looking at E, when I go from left to right, what is the very first thing I come to? I come to this multiplication. I can't do my addition first. I have to do either multiplication or division first. So that would be the very first thing I do. In F, 8 plus parentheses 16 divided by 4 plus 6 divided by 2, end parentheses, well, I know the very first thing I have to do is my grouping, my parentheses, everything in there. And in G, I don't have a grouping symbol, but I have exponent, which I have to do before anything else. So 6 cubed, or 6 to the third power, is what I would do first. Okay, so we are going to practice this. The next page is telling us how we can solve these equations using the order of operations. Okay, so 8 squared, or 8 to the second power, plus parentheses 9 plus 9, end parentheses, times 6 plus 3. We could think of it as puzzle pieces. Okay, so if I look, I know I have to do my grouping first. So if you look at this puzzle piece, I have 9 plus 9. Okay, well, 9 plus 9, I know, is 18. Okay, so I'm going to bring everything else down. 8 squared comes down here, the 18 stays here, times 6, and then plus 3. Well, I'm going to move on. I know the next thing I have to do, if I look at all this, is my exponent. So I have 8 to the second power, or you could say 8 squared. Remember, it is not 16. It is 8 times 8. And if I put 8 times 8 in my calculator, I get 64. Okay, so then I'm going to bring everything else down, the 18 times 6 plus 3. I have a new equation. 64, oh, this is an addition symbol. I can't do that first. I have to do the multiplication first. So 18 times 6 is 108. So now I'm going to bring everything down. Oops. So 64 comes down. There's nothing more I need to do with it. This becomes 108 because 18 times 6 is 108. And plus 3 I'm bringing down because there's nothing more I need to do with that. So my new equation is 64 plus 108 plus 3, which equals 175. That is solving using the order of operations. Okay, the last page is actually practice on solving using the order of operations. We will do these in class together, but if you feel confident that you'd like to try these, I would love it. So if you want to try these and then check with your answers when we go over them in class, that'd be great, but it is not homework and it is not expected. But if you'd like to try it, please do. All right, and I will see you Friday. We will review these on Friday. Okay, bye.